Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan Bianchi here with the Teardown. Big news happened here in the NASCAR world, and why not do an emergency podcast? Quickly, just kind of get some thoughts out there on the news that Austin Hill has been suspended one race by NASCAR for intentionally wrecking Eric Almirola during Saturday's Xfinity Series race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. In addition to the one race penalty for Hill, he also loses his playoff points that he's accrued so far this year, which is 21, a good hefty number. And additionally, any playoff points he earns up through the regular season, those also will not count for his total going forward in the playoffs as well. So big penalty for Austin Hill. No surprise whatsoever. I think anybody who saw the crash on Saturday as it happened quickly surmised that this certainly seemed intentional. NASCAR quickly agreed. They issued a 5-lap penalty to Austin Hill for reckless driving, but they did make a certain caveat known. This was not going to close the book on any potential penalties for Hill. Because this happened on a high-speed oval and Almirola had a significant contact with the wall, NASCAR was going to review the incident and they would announce potential additional penalties later in the week. That came today, Tuesday, and that is where we stand. This is not a surprise at all. Anybody who saw this quickly kind of realized that this was an intentional act and that past precedent, if you look at Bubba Wallace in 2022 at Las Vegas, Chase Elliott 2023 at Charlotte, both at high-speed ovals, when they did a similar act, they also were suspended one race. This kind of follows that precedent. At a high-speed oval, when you right hook somebody, you're going to likely get suspended. There are going to be people that say, hey, wait a second, Austin Cindric and Austin Dillon weren't suspended when they right hooked people. In the case of both, though, they happened on different tracks than a high-speed oval. Austin Cindric's happened on the road course at Circuit of Americas in a slow section of the track. Austin Dillon's happened at Richmond, a short track. In both cases, the speeds weren't that high, and the impact that the other driver had with the wall wasn't to the degree that we saw with Eric Almirola on Saturday in the Xfinity Series race. In these instances, when an incident like this happens, NASCAR will go back, they'll review the data, they'll look at in-car video, they basically crime scene investigate it, put the puzzle together, and then determine whether this, in their estimation, this was intentional or not. Based on how NASCAR acted on Saturday when they penalized Austin Hill 5 laps immediately for reckless driving, it was pretty clear that they surmised right away that this was an intentional act. And based on that and based on past precedent, it became very obvious that a one-race suspension was going to happen. It's going to be tough for Austin Hill now in the playoffs and a championship favorite. You know, he's got 3 wins this year. He's currently ranked 5th in points. Now he'll get a waiver to make the playoffs, and that's fine. But his road to the championship 4 is much harder now than it would have been before Saturday's incident. One note on this, Richard Childress Racing did come out and say they will not appeal the penalty. That is a little bit of a surprise. Typically, teams in this instance will try to appeal to win their case, at least especially in Austin Hill's case, get those playoff points back if you can. But the team said that that's not going to happen, so this is essentially a closed matter now going forward. And Austin Dillon now will drive the number 21 in Saturday's Xfinity Series race at Iowa Speedway. Not surprised that RCR tabbed somebody kind of in the family, if you will. Austin obviously drives for RCR on the Cup Series side. This was a justified penalty. NASCAR got this one right. The caveat, of course, though, is the playoff points. NASCAR added that rule this year, and so that's going to really hit Austin Hill as he get in the playoffs. You work all year during the regular season to get those bonus points to help you get through each round, and as we've seen many, many times, those can be the big difference between advancing or being eliminated. Austin Hill is not going to have those to fall back on now. This has championship implications. But again, when you look at what happened, this was a deserved penalty for Austin Hill.